it's not the exact same effect. When we sit down and do a meditation, like, I mean, your body's gonna be vibrating like crazy. I mean, you're gonna feel expanded, you're gonna feel things leave your body, you're gonna feel very powerful things. And in this hour, it's not like this with the watch. The watch it's more of a subtle and sustained energy, which is what you want if you're going to wear it all day.
Today on Bioenergetics Beat, we're joined by the extraordinary Caroline Cory, an award-winning filmmaker, author, and visionary founder of the Omnium Method of Energy Medicine and Consciousness Studies. From an early age, Caroline has been deeply connected to the mysteries of consciousness, spirituality, and the mechanics of the universe. Her groundbreaking work bridges science, the unseen, exploring how consciousness interacts with health and the physical body. She has collaborated with world-renowned scientists from Harvard Medical School, the Harvard Smithsonian, IONS, and Stanford University, conducting pioneer research that challenges the limits of what we believe is possible through her innovative Omnium Method. Caroline has helped countless individuals clear deep-seated traumas from the subconscious and cellular memory, often with remarkable speed and accuracy. In 2010, she founded Omnium Media, producing films that spark meaningful conversations about human potential, social awareness, and the nature of reality. Her acclaimed films include Superhuman, The Invisible Made Visible, and A Tear in the Sky, both of which push the boundaries of science, consciousness, and our understanding of the universe. Beyond filmmaking, Caroline has a global voice for empowerment and awakening, sharing her insights on major media platforms and shows such as The Unexplained with William Shatner, Ancient Aliens, and History's Greatest Mysteries with Lawrence Fishburne. It's an honor to welcome a true pioneer in consciousness science, Caroline Cory. Welcome, Caroline.
Hey, Miriam, thank you so much for having me. What an introduction. Wow.
You know what? You need an incredible introduction for an incredible person. And I'm so
Thank
happy that
you.
you're able to join us here. I know you have so much happening. So tell us a little bit what's happening on your front.
Oh my God. I'll start with the movie. I'm super, super excited because I'm like wrapping up pretty much. It's
Yep.
Superhuman 2, which is a sequel of Superhuman 1, obviously, which I did 5 years ago. And that movie had so much success. Like to this day, people still email us, text us, like, where can I learn this? Where can I find this? And the reason being, um, it's because I brought science, I brought science to all these topics, your mind creates, raise your vibration. Yeah, it's great. And I think it's amazing that so many people are talking about it. But for me, it's like, okay, tell me how to raise my vibration, or how do I know my vibration is raised? Like, I like empirical data, which, some people have studied, have done some of it, but I brought it in a film in a completely new way. And we did these live experiments. So that's people were more convinced, and I'm talking about mainstream. You didn't have to be a new age person anymore, because
Yeah.
once you have science behind it, you go, wait, it's logical, it does make sense, and now I get it. So Superhuman 2 kind of builds on that. Of course, I bring examples of amazing people who can do things. For example, the blindfold folks, that can see with blindfolds, taking it to a whole new level, working with scientists, meaning we do it in a way to prove that there's no cheating, that it's real. Plus, this time we're working with blind people. So it's like, you know,
There's no room for the questioning, right?
exactly. It's a whole new level of
Yep.
demonstrating how consciousness and frequency.
Yeah.
It's all about frequency and energy. It's
Mhm.
no longer the Newtonian physics, the traditional way of thinking. So, and then as you know, I'm introducing this entire concept of frequency-based health.
Mhm.
If everything is frequency,
Yep.
why aren't we healing with frequency? Which, of course, Nikki
Yeah.
knows a lot
Yep.
about.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. I will tell you a funny story is I'm so nervous to talk to you today, even though we email back and forth all the time. And so I'm like, and I've watched Superhuman before, and I'm like, I'm gonna watch it again. So on Monday, I started watching it. Caroline, I got so into it. My sister texted me, like I was done at 4. My sister texted me at 6 and she's like, "Are you okay?" And I was like, "Oh my gosh, I just watched the whole thing and forgot I was so enthralled, and now I'm convinced that I need to become a psychic spy." So so
Yeah.
today and yesterday, Bernadine, I was like, "Oh, have you watched Superhuman yet?" And she's like, "No." I'm like, "You know what? You should watch it because the second one's coming out, which I know we're all really excited for it." And so she's been doing it as well. And so we're doing a puzzle and we're looking at each other. And we're like, "Can we guess the pieces?" Like just like playing around in the office. But it's so well done, and I'm very excited for the second one. Is there any any timeline on when that one's going to be released at all? I know you're still working. It's been quite a big project for you.
Yeah, yeah. So we're starting post-production literally this month. I mean, the end of this month. And that takes about, 3 to 4 months
Yeah,
because, we do it, the films that I make, even the documentaries, but it's like the way I shoot, the way we produce it, excuse me, the way we put it out, it's top notch. I mean,
yes,
the post-production studio is, I mean, we deliver to Netflix and Amazon and all
yeah,
the big networks. So because of that, there's a lot that goes on. People don't realize, you watch a movie and you're like, oh, it's nice, the music's good, or
yeah,
but to get to, like just the sound, it's sound design and sound editing and sound this and that. So it's like 5 people just to get the sound to be correct, the way you hear it in
yeah.
professional productions. Same with the images, same with the edits. It's a lot of work. So I'm hoping that it would be around March. I'm saying February, March. But the good news is that we have a few distributors who have already offered to distribute it worldwide because, first of all, because this material is very much needed, and because of my track record, because the last one did so well.
Mhm.
So this means that we know, it's just a matter of also scheduling. Like when you launch a film, it has to fit within a certain slate. So it's coming, hopefully around, March. As soon as we have a clear idea, we will make an announcement for sure.
And our company, we're Nikki, we're really excited for it as well. And we will, of course, we're obviously going to support any way that we can, which also we have a little unique partnership with Superhuman and We Are Nikki. Do you want to talk a little bit about that, Caroline?
Yeah, absolutely. Hello.
I know.
I have two Nikis. I walk around with two Nikis. Like, I just love it. So, actually, it was my friend Keith. Keith, who introduced me. He was wearing one,
Yeah.
and I think he was struggling with Lyme, or he had
Oh,
his.
yes. So you're referring to a good friend of our company, Dr. Keith Pine, just so
Yeah,
our
Keith
listeners know.
Pine.
Yeah.
Yeah, so he's
Yeah.
a good friend of mine. He works with sports figures and and I asked him, I said, "What is this watch?" And so he showed me this light. And of course, I already understand I mean, the fact that light is a conductor, that we heal with frequency and waves and things like that. And so when he explained it to me, I was so excited. I'm like, please introduce me to those people. Please because what happened, I've been doing this work for, 20 years, training people, teaching people to meditate, to heal themselves, find the root cause of what's happening in your body, or if you're stuck, you know, at work or with a family member, or any sort of issue where you have blocks. I've been training people to heal those things and to reverse PTSD and all kinds of techniques, basically, to heal yourself. And when people are doing this work, I mean, one major comment, the main comment that they make is that they feel the energy so powerfully. Like they feel like when we do a meditation, they feel completely like expanded, calm, relaxed, light, all these things. So, you know, so I've been doing this a long time and having real validated evidence, you know, like here's this person who had this problem and we do this, and then she doesn't have the problem, and here's the x-ray and we do this, and here's the other x-ray. So having so much validation told me that it's not just people kind of commenting like, wow, the energy feels good. There's something actually physiologically happening, moving in their body just by me speaking. Like by me, of course, I'm not just speaking, I'm projecting the energy of whatever is clearing, right? So when Keith showed me this device and I called you guys, I was like, is there a way that we can kind of package package that energy, that frequency, so that people can receive it on a regular basis? And so that's what, when you explained to me how the technology works, I was, this is exactly what we need. And you guys tested it, right? I think I sent you
Did.
one
I
meditation.
actually, I was there on the day of the testing, and they like to test on me because I don't read well on things, right? And
Uh,
so whenever there's, and I'm very sensitive, like very, very sensitive. And so and just Caroline's, these superhuman programs, they take like 40 plus hours to build. They are that comprehensive and amazing to get them onto the NIKKI. Like it's so much. And so when I was part of the testing, we plan it all. And so we're doing the EAV testing. And so Stuart, the gentleman who comes and helps us do the testing, so he's like, okay, well, let's start with Miriam. Cause I'm like, everything's like a 10. Like it's a 10, it's a 10. Like everything's just like it's down around my ankles type of thing. And so then we started to work with your programs. And then my 10 went to like a 60, 70, 80. And it was so well received. And then at the same time, we were testing negative things. And then it would go back down to 10, back to no reading at all. Go to the meditations, 70, 80s, 90s. Like it was so significant. And then we were, at the same time, we were testing people that had Lyme disease and some other chronic illnesses. And so at the same time, while we were testing for them, well, let's do the stuff that we need for Caroline. And we saw the same results with them. And then the other day, like we're in this world of, and I caught myself, and Nikki and I were just talking about this, is I was like, I sometimes get scared to try some of our new programs because I do have that kind of sensitivity. And we're in this world of doom scrolling, and it's so easy to get caught up in the doom scrolling. And so I was like, you know what? I said, I'm talking to Caroline later in the week, and I'm like, I'm going to try some of these programs. So I kind of went through the list because you have 10 amazing programs. And I'm like, I'm going to ask the universe what I need. And it was like so clear, was energetic cleanse. Cause I'm like, I'm going to try that. Well, all this week, Caroline, I haven't been on TikTok. I've been like going back to my quilting, and I'm like, and I feel great. Normally it's like, I would go home, I would go to bed, and I would doom scroll on TikTok for like 5-6 hours. And then I did your energetic cleanse. And you're right. And I'm like I'm not a skeptic, but I was like, it's calm. It's calm. I'm no longer feeling I'm missing anything by not being on my social media. And my sister's like, oh, did you get that TikTok? I'm like, no, I haven't been on TikTok since Monday. And she's like, wait, what? Like,
what just happened to you?
what happened? And that's where, and we hear from people that have the bioenergetic programs that you've created. And my favorite, I think, Nikki, you were on the call too, where there was a gentleman who was on the call, and he was wearing the abundance program.
Yeah, yeah, that's exactly right.
Yeah, you want to share that story, Nikki?
Yeah, so I was on a call with someone, and he said, I'm not really sure what's happening, but I have the superhuman watch and I wear the abundance all the time, like every day. I wear it every day when I'm working. And I said, oh, okay, that's really interesting. He said, no, here's the interesting part. In the last month since I've been wearing it, the marketing that I'm doing for this company, the ROI has gone up 150%. And I was like, oh my gosh, wow, like, oh, great, like that's amazing. So, yeah, I've used the energetic cleanse, love that one. I love Connect to Source. That's my one of my daily go-tos. I just love that one. I find that it's really it's a lovely program. And yes, there's so much that goes into it. And I love how you just said before, Caroline, that light is a conductor. We already know this. Like that is true. Light is a conductor. It does
You
so many
froze
things for
there
us.
for a second.
And in terms of, frequency, like we're electrical beings. And of course we can influence ourselves electrically. Like, of course we can. So it's just really interesting in terms of, our circuitry, like, so to speak, in terms of being human and what we do and how we can connect with that. And I love that you wanted to expand on Superhuman One. And I'm so excited that it was so well received. I do feel like people are asking for this, but they don't realize that that's what they're asking for. Many of the people
Exactly.
that have been in like the New Age movement for a long time, I would call it that, I guess, in the kind of the metaphysical realm, they already kind of know, what's in the know or what's out there, or they're not needing to be convinced in any form or fashion. But the people that are struggling for answers, that don't understand why they're in these repeat situations, that have similar constellations of feelings and experiences that they're repetitive, and they're like, why is this happening? That's what Superhuman is for. These are the people that we're talking to, and we go, here might be one of the answers. Here might be one of the reasons. Here's what you might not be seeing that you don't realize you're being influenced by. So can you tell us a little bit more about like the expansion on Superhuman One, like some of the other things that you might be covering in Superhuman Two?
Yeah, yeah, but I also want to comment that that's pretty much everybody. It's like
Yeah,
everybody's got some sort of issue where you're stuck. I mean, that's life, you know. And what you were just saying, I mean, what people don't realize, it's just all energy to understand which energy. But if you don't mind, I want to kind of explain a little bit about those frequencies that you mentioned.
absolutely.
I mean, all of them, the superhuman one. So, you hear a lot online, for example, use this 432 hertz for this thing or 800 hertz for that thing. And it doesn't work this way. I mean, I'm glad some people are putting stuff out there, but we are not one frequency. The brain does not respond to one frequency. When we do experiments and we do brain mapping, it is so complex to come to a conclusion because yes, you have the waves, but the waves are different in different parts of the brain. So it's very, very complex. So through the brain mapping, you realize that when you say this one frequency is going to adjust your entire brain, I'm very doubtful about that. So the work that we're doing with Superhuman and with these frequencies, it's not one frequency. It's hundreds of frequencies. And so, for example, in the superhuman ones, each one is that's why Miriam was saying it takes 40 hours to do one thing because it's an entire reprogramming meditation. So I start with the frequencies that allow you to take out the blocks. No matter who you are, no matter what the root cause is for you, how you created that story, it doesn't matter because there's a way to undo the blocks your higher self knows uh, that have created the issue. Then you almost want to, kind of create a clean slate for the cells and for the brain to go back to the place of, oh, I don't have that, whatever reason that I created for myself to create the block. So then you have a clean slate set of frequencies, and then you have the frequencies that bring you the energy that you're looking for, whether it's abundance or this or that. So it's a whole reprogramming of your entire brain frequency, chemistry, consciousness altogether. It's extremely sophisticated. That's why it takes forever for you guys to create one. And that's why it ends up having a very powerful effect. So, in the energetic cleanse, which I recommend everyone doing that, again, it's not just like, hey, I'm releasing this, releasing that. Yeah, we want to do that. But I take out also, I don't know if I can mention this on this
You
podcast.
mention it, we can always take it out if needed.
Okay. Like, not only that I release frequencies that are blocking you from feeling clean and light, but also because I can see the subtle energy very clearly, I take out entities. So
Mhm.
there are frequencies and entities that are floating around us and we are not aware. And sometimes we've had them for such a long time, for years and years and years, that we're just walking around and I see these things in the field of the person. And so that's the reason why this type of programming and deprogramming and cleansing is extremely sophisticated. You know what I mean? I
You
take
know,
out everything you can think of.
no, Caroline,
That's amazing.
I'm
Yeah.
I'm emotional right now because um as soon as you said the entities, and if so I was just, and it's very personal, but I was just sharing with Nikki for the last several weeks, like I didn't realize that I was actually very like falling into very deep depression, like, and I didn't realize it. And then on Monday, I started to play the energetic cleanse, right? And I just said to Nikki, like literally an hour ago, like something had shifted and I've like got out of that. And so I believe that. And I believe, like, I'm like, oh, this is emotional. I'm very like, I should have like, Miriam, don't say this on a podcast. But it was like, I started listening to like the energetic cleanse because I'm like, I just like something was off. Right. And I didn't really realize it. But when I was just like going home and then just like laying in bed for hours and hours and hours doom scrolling, and that's when I was like, this is such a bad kind of cycle to get into it, when I was doing it for like the last 3 weeks. And so I'm a quilter, and so all this week, like, so starting Monday, I stayed late watching Superhuman and then I was like, get home, and then I was like, you know what, I'm gonna get stuff ready. And like every day this week, like I feel lighter. I'm being fully honest. And then I did like, I'd go home, I would start working on a little quilt, and I finished a project that I haven't touched for like months. And so I was excited. I brought it to show Nikki. And then I just said to her, like, about literally like an hour ago, and I was like, man, I didn't realize like something was really like, I was blocked. I was sad. I was depressed. I didn't realize it. And now it's like, Caroline, I have energy. I never have energy. And I'm like going home and I'm working on things that bring me joy. And I haven't done that in a very long time. And so what you're saying, like it resounds with me, because like on Monday was when I started to wear that energetic cleanse. And like I've been wearing it, like we've got this new feature that's coming, and I'll tell you, but we might have to take it out.
There's a new word for wellness, NIKKI. NIKKI is your personal wellness companion, a sleek wearable device that lets you choose from a variety of programs to match your day. With a simple tap on the NIKKI screen, you can explore wellness programs created for different moments and lifestyles. Need a lift? Select energy. Looking to unwind? Tap stress and anxiety. Want to feel more at ease? Choose pain. Heading out on a trip? Try travel to help you feel ready for new adventures. From busy mornings to quiet evenings, NIKKI puts a variety of wellness experiences right at your fingertips and on your wrist. Life moves fast. NIKKI moves with you. It's a portable way to bring wellness technology into your everyday routine, wherever life takes you. Your day, your choice, your wellness program. NIKKI Wellness Technology. Delivering frequency enhanced health. We are NIKKI.com.
That's depression, anxiety, which is pretty much the whole human population.
Yeah. Yeah.
Most of the time it's an energy, it's an entity that's floating around. We were not trained to scan the energy, the fields around us or what have you. But I mean, I always hesitate to talk about this because I don't want to sound like, oh, ghosts. It's not like that. It's energy. Like
It's
people's
100%.
energy that is stuck
Yes.
somewhere. And
Absolutely.
sometimes
It's
you
like
go in a
attachments.
yeah, yeah, exactly. You go in a
Attachments.
store and you feel like, ooh, something, or you talk to someone on the phone or something.
Yes.
What is that? It's not the human condition, and the human nature is not dark, is not evil. Because it's naturally you come in completely pure, wanting to thrive. You want love. That's your real nature. But
Yeah.
then there's all kinds of, things that happen around you. So these things latch onto you. That's how
Yes.
you get stuck in depression, anxiety, addictions, all
Mm.
kinds of addictions, drugs, alcohol, food, and TikTok.
Mhm.
you know,
Yep.
yeah,
Guilty.
they keep you stuck in that cycle.
Yeah.
So that's why those frequencies, we're not talking. So now you can see that having one frequency doesn't even make any sense. It's a
Mhm.
whole dynamic
Yeah.
of your being.
Yeah.
And those attachments and things are responsible for illnesses. I'm
Yeah.
talking cancer and things like that. So we have to, kind of expand our awareness that it's not that we're not all that we see. But now there's science as well. I mean, I'm talking that, we can detect these things, but there's science that also tells us frequencies work this way, frequencies affect your brain. Epigenetics
Yeah.
tells
Yes.
us
Yes.
the environment changes our DNA. I mean, how much more
Yes.
evidence do we need,
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, I love that you're talking about multiple frequencies, and that ties in so well with what NIKKI does,
Yeah.
because NIKKI doesn't just deliver one frequency. It's a stack. It's hundreds at a time. So, and when people ask us that and they say, what, it's like, because not one thing is for everybody. You're doing this sweep, you're doing the scan, you're doing all the things that you're doing. NIKKI doesn't scan, NIKKI doesn't do any of that, but does deliver multiple frequencies at a time. And that's the key. That's the key differentiator between what we do and what other frequency technology does. And every frequency technology has a place. There's tools in the toolbox, and everybody responds in the way that they do. I love when you talk about your process in terms of there's like kind of a 3-step there in terms of, okay, let's work with the cleaning out and then coming to a slate, and then I want to use the word like replacing or reprogramming. And what I feel happens so much in other modalities, and I know we've had other people like naturopathic doctors talking about this, is like there's always this eradication. It's like there's no rest, digest, refill, nourish. Like you can't, like nothing happens in a vacuum. You have to, if you take something out, something else is going to go in. So put in what you want. And this is why I always say everything is a frequency. Why don't you choose what you want to have? Choose. And I think that's part of what you're talking about in terms of the seen and unseen. We don't realize that we can choose. We don't realize that we have choice over how we are influenced, but we're responsible for our own energetic being. Like we're responsible not to like throw stuff at people, whether you actually do it or not. If you think it, it's happening. I
Exactly.
believe that thought is predicates where that energy is going. So even if you walk by someone, I have absolutely had the experience of walking by someone, just doing my own thing and being like, oh, and feeling like,
Yes.
what was that? And it's like their judgment of whatever is happening for me.
Yeah.
But it's like I caught it and I'm like, wow, that's smart. But you don't always catch it, which I think is part of these attachments. You don't
Yeah.
always catch what's coming at you in this multitude of variables throughout your day, whether you're on the phone, on the computer, whether you're in person. Oh, I just went to pick up a coffee. I walk it on the street, whatever it is, you're interacting with all the biofields around you constantly.
Exactly. And not only you're interacting, you're bombarded You're
Yeah.
bombarded with stuff, like the toxicity from the air, from the
Yes.
water, from the food, from people, from everything, the stuff that you're also, generating with family. And then you're at home, your family member, your partner, your kids. I mean, so you are like you were saying, we are electrical being. We are, we send and receive information through frequency. And so when you're bombarded with all of that, so instead of, I mean, there's a place for it to sit down and do a meditation, which I highly recommend. But having devices like these, is just so much support as we are navigating this whole mess. It's a lot. And so you guys also have amazing frequencies. One of them that I love, I do all the time. So it's funny, like I'm using my own frequencies. That should tell you
Yeah.
that even though you are at a point where you understand frequency, you master frequencies and this and that, super sensitive, okay, I can sense this guy, boom, cut him off, and this, even though you are functioning at this level, but you're still bombarded. I'm still bombarded. So, like, especially when I'm working, stress, responsibilities. So I put on my own stuff. I mean, like, I put on inner peace. I put on, and then one I love that you guys did is the sleep.
Oh,
Man,
it's awesome.
the
Yes.
sleep is insane. I mean, it just knocks you out. You don't feel drowsy or strange or anything like that. So this is a huge, clean, very sophisticated tool that we need just to navigate
Yeah.
this reality.
And I'm so happy that you brought up our sleep program, which is part of our wellness programs. But for those that have gone to Superhuman Watch and have purchased their NIKKI with the Superhuman bioenergetic
Yeah.
programs, we have gifted the sleep program now comes with those programs based on Caroline's recommendation. So anyone who purchases them, when you download your programs, you'll get access to our sleep wellness program. Now, your next question might be, I've already bought the Superhuman programs. Do I have access? Absolutely. All you need to do is reconnect your NIKKI back to the NIKKI Connect app. Your programs will update and you will see the sleep program in with all your other bioenergetic programs. Now, what's really cool, Caroline, because I know you have a huge library of all your meditations. How did you come to these 10 to launch with?
Yeah, so I thought it's kind of like the basic 10, the one that Nikki mentioned, connecting to source. That's the one that I recommend everyone do. So it's been on my website forever. It's free of charge. I'm like, please do this meditation, please do.
Oh,
So what this meditation does is basically, of course, cleanses the lower energies, but it kind of realigns. It kind of like puts back your original DNA, in perfect alignment with source. So what is source? People call God, whatever. But source is really the your original essence. And I'm not talking about a past life here. I'm talking about you are a pure essence, pure consciousness before you ever incarnated. And so that essence has the intelligence of the universe, knows exactly how to self heal, self repair, self maintain, knows exactly everything about who you are and how to, course correct is if needed, knows everything because that's the original you before the human expression. So if you realign yourself here in this human body with that original aspect of yourself, you kind of recalibrate yourself. You start to open the channels of communication, I want to say. Of course, it's an energy flow.
yeah.
Start to calm and realize, like, oh, okay, I know who I am. I know what this is about. I know how to self heal. You bring things back to your core. It's an extremely powerful and profound experience, and you feel very connected. connected to, source and your divine self and things like that. So that's the basic one that I recommend everyone needs to do it. Then of course, some of them were for daily things like the energetic cleanse that I think everybody should do, especially in the evening before you retire. You've accumulated all that stuff. I also love the pH, the chemistry balance.
Yes.
So because I also struggle, especially when you're traveling, without even traveling, with all the foods and everything else, your chemistry is all over the place. Your pH is off. Um, your electrolytes are off. And so these are the frequencies that allow you again for your chemistry to rebalance itself. And I used to have these huge sugar, drip drops, like blood sugar drop, like, oh my God, I have to eat something.
Yeah, yeah.
Wearing these, it's just this stable. It's pretty incredible. And of course, I added the ones that I feel a lot of people want, and are interested in, your higher guidance, because people want to reconnect with their higher self, receive proper guidance, know what, okay, how do I tackle this problem or what have you. So there's abundance that Nikki mentioned that works so well. And when we talk abundance, it's not just money, of course, that too, but it's abundance from the universe. It's like you are so you're opening up to flourishing. So anything, resources, money, people, information, that's going to allow you to flourish, to thrive. That is what abundance is. It's a magnificent frequency. So that's why I kind of put the basics plus the ones that people can really use every day. And plus, now that you're offering the sleep, I think the Superhuman package
That's
is like
amazing.
perfect. Yeah.
And, just for those that are listening, so because we will put this on your Superhuman page as well, but it'll go on our podcast page as well. And for those that are listening, if you already have a NIKKI and would like to purchase the bioenergetic programs of the soup that go along with Superhuman, just send us an email to our customer service team and we can help arrange that for you. I do know it's so interesting whenever we talk to people that have your programs. Calmest people we've ever had to deal with. Like,
Calm
you
is
know what? There's this one lady, she lives in France and we don't speak French. She doesn't speak English. I don't know how we communicate, but we do it. And she's a sweetheart, and everyone that we interact are just, they understand the technology. They
Yeah.
understand, because a lot of people look at the technology and they're like, oh, that's kind of woo woo. I thought that until it actually helped my life. Like, I've been here, I'll be five years in November, and I'm like, I'm never without a NIKKI. My family's never without their NIKKI. And then when you forget it or the battery dies, it's like, oh my gosh, like this isn't good. And you kind of almost panic because they become such, like, they're your little best friends almost, like you feel good. Like, I feel good when I have it. And yeah, but no, it's everyone that has Superhuman, they're always so calm and just amazing to deal with. And we do have we do get lots of feedback from the people that have Superhuman, and it's always really neat hearing, because I know a lot of them will directly go to you. And we had somebody, he came across he has the NIKKI, and he came across the Superhuman watch site, and he's like, what's all this about? And we're like, oh, like, so he bought it. And then what happened is him and his friend have to one up each other. So the friend's like, hey, my buddy bought this, how do I get that? So we ranked up. And then the other friend in like this group of golfers were like, well, they can't have it, how come I can't have it? They bought 6 in a day. It was
I
hilarious.
love
Bernadine
it.
and I, we were killing ourselves laughing because it was so funny, because one didn't want to have what the other one didn't have. And they're just like, oh, see me, they're like meditations. And we're like, oh yeah. And then what we try to do is we tell people like where they can watch the Superhuman, the first one. And then we do let them know, like, there's a number, like there's the second one's coming out. We're really excited because the NIKKI technology is in the Superhuman 2. And yeah, it's a lot of fun. But I really love how you broke down those programs, because I think that is a question that people have that we didn't really, even I wasn't aware of it. So it's really cool of the ones that you've picked and why you've picked them. And I think they're like really like the essentials. Like, I think they're exciting. They're really exciting.
Yeah, and you're talking about the people who are, my student had studied
Yeah.
with me and stuff who now have the watch, and they're actually the biggest critics because
Mm.
they've seen, well, yeah, because they've experienced the energy in real, right? Like they've done the
Yes.
meditations in person with me, and so they know like the real thing, kind of a thing,
Yeah. Yeah.
So if you gave them something that didn't deliver, they'd be like, what? Like that's not you, that's not the right thing, that's not the same thing. So for them to actually, endorse, so to speak, this technology is huge because it means that it's still affecting them. But I just want to be kind of clear is that it's not the exact same effect when we sit down and do a meditation. Like, I mean, your body's gonna be vibrating like crazy. I mean, you're gonna feel expanded, you're gonna feel things leave your body, you're gonna feel very powerful things. And in this hour, it's not like this with the watch. The watch is, it's more of a subtle and sustained energy, which is what you want if you're going to wear it all day. You know what I mean? So it's a different effect. So people don't expect, like, I'm not going to put this on and get zapped. And, that's not how it works. So that's what I mean. Like for them to have experienced the real thing and really loving this is tells a lot.
Yeah. Yeah, it's really the best review you can do. So we're going to wrap up our podcast. Did you have anything you would like to add that we didn't speak about, Caroline?
Yeah, Nikki was asking me about Superhuman too. What
Mhm.
what else is in there? So, like I said, we're featuring amazing people who with superhuman abilities, just to kind of like empower people to realize their own potential. I mean, it goes from children who play an instrument at the age of 3, all the way to people again who can see with the blindfolds, again under scientific scrutiny and everything else. So we feature those again for people to start tapping into their power and understand frequency. And then there's the whole segment on where we introduce all of these technologies through Dr. Leanne Keneally, for example. She's got a whole center with different alternative technologies, all frequency based, where it's healing through sound. And I'm not talking about sound bowls here. I'm talking about sound frequencies and diagnostic tools using frequency, where you don't have to take 15 vials of blood anymore to scan your body with frequency through frequency devices and detect certain markers. Okay, you have those types of parasites, and it's incredibly precise. It's mind blowing. Those types of parasites, that many bacteria, and it's exactly where in the body. I mean, to me, that is the medicine of the future. I think it's the medicine of the past that somehow we lost, but we're talking a whole different way to heal ourselves and to manage our energy. And of course, the NIKKI is in the movie as well because this is like so practical. It's
Yeah.
just so practical. Like you've combined all of this new technology into something that anybody can use. Easy. You don't have to sit down. You don't have to take time off your work to do this and that. So I'm very excited about this. And of course, I have very prominent names, experts talking. We have, Greg Braden, Bruce Lipton, Deepak Chopra. I have top tier scientists, physicists
Wow.
commenting. Yeah. So this is next level. I'm very, very excited about Superhuman too.
So hopefully the next time you're on our podcast, Caroline, it's a watch party for Superhuman 2.
Yes,
What?
let's do
I'll,
that.
That'd be
I'll have to
amazing.
I think that would be so much fun.
Yes.
Because I know we at the office are very excited for Superhuman 2 to come out. And of course, we're all a big fan of yours. And I just really want to thank you for coming and taking the time today. I know you're very busy. And we will connect your website with your meditation on there. And we'll also connect the Superhuman page as well, just so customers can go and look to see everything that's on offer.
Awesome. Sorry, I forgot to also mention that the Superhuman programs we already have available, but we're also working on the one that everybody's asking about is the anti-aging one, the anti-aging frequencies. We're working on that's coming up very, very soon.
Same.
So be prepared with all your machines. It might take 80 hours on that one.
Alrighty, I'll book everything else off that week.
Yeah, anti-aging, also I think weight loss, some people ask. And then we have a whole, yeah, and then we have a whole series specifically for mental health. I mean,
Mhm.
depression, anxiety, trauma, PTSD, all of that. But I think the next one is going to be the anti-aging, which is very, very exciting because again, I address totally different aspects, the mental, emotional, energetic aspect, then the physiological aspect, from hormones to proteins to different kinds of things all put together. So I'm very excited about that one.
Awesome. We'll keep everybody posted. And Caroline's webpage is superhumanwatch.com, and we'll have updates on there as well.
And because we really love our customers so much, the way we show appreciation is we give away a free NIKKI device and a wellness suite of frequencies on every show. It's a $598 value. So make sure you go to the show notes to enter. Good luck to you. Thanks for joining us again and have a healthy day.
NIKKI Wellness Technology. Delivering frequency enhanced health.
It looks like a little watch, but it's actually a frequency device. It's bioenergetic, so it has this little frequency light situation that goes into your arm.
This is my NIKKI. It is a bioenergetic wearable that works by emitting a specific frequency carried by a red light, as you can see on the back. It's aimed at enhancing the body's natural healing process to improve wellness and reducing stress, pain, and inflammation. And to select a frequency, you tap it to wake it up, and then you slide to the screens that list the different frequencies. I have wellness or Lyme on mine. So if we want to pick one, we just tap on it, and you'll see the circles around, and there's a play button, play areas, tap there, and you can see the colors radiating that show that it's playing. And you would also see the red light on the back. And to stop, you just tap it again, and then you can slide and select a different frequency. I'm going to play afternoon. And you just tap, and away you go for your afternoon.
So there are two different things. You have the NIKKI device, and then you have the frequency sets. And so right now they have the wellness set of frequencies and they have the Lyme set of frequencies, and both of them are absolutely incredible. I use both sets on a regular basis, so I absolutely love them.
NIKKI Wellness Technology. Delivering frequency enhanced health. We are NIKKI.com. The views, information, and opinions expressed in this content are solely those of the individuals involved and do not necessarily represent those of FreeMedica. FreeMedica Technologies, Inc. and its employees are not responsible, nor verifies accuracy any of the information contained in the following content. The primary purpose of this content is to educate and inform. This content does not constitute medical or other professional advice or services.